Hello and welcome to this Crochet Easter Egg tutorial. Today I'll be showing you how to crochet this Easter egg plushie. Let's get straight into it. So the materials that you will need are a crochet hook. I'm using a 5mm crochet hook, a yarn needle, scissors. You will need 2 different colors of yarn. I'm using Premier Parfait Chunky yarn. And you will also need stuffing. So to start off, you're going to grab your first color that you want to use and we're going to make a magic ring. So I like to use the 2-chain method. And to do this, we are going to make a slip knot. And we are going to chain 2. And then our single crochets for the magic ring will go into the first chain. So that will act as our magic ring. So for the first round, we are going to do 6 single crochets into the magic ring. So we'll be doing 6 single crochets into that first chain. And then for the next round, we are going to do 6 increases. An increase is doing 2 single crochets into a stitch. So we're going to do that 6 times, which will take us up to 12 stitches. And then at the end of this round, I'll be showing you how to do a seamless color change. So once you've finished that round, we are going to leave a small tail, but we're going to cut it off right about here. And then we're going to finish off by pulling through. So what we are going to need to do is we are going to find the stitch that is too along from where the yarn tail is coming out of, so from where we finished off. So I'm currently looking at the outside of my circle and here's the first stitch. So the yarn tail is coming out of here. Here's the first stitch and here's the second stitch right here. And we're going to put our crochet hook through the other side of that second stitch. So here you can see it's the other side of that second stitch. And then we are going to grab this yarn tail. We're going to wrap it around the crochet hook. And we're going to pull the yarn tail through from the outside to the inside in that second stitch here. So then we are going to find where the yarn tail was just coming out of. So here's the second stitch that we just pulled through. Here's the first stitch, which we're starting to cover up with a false stitch. That's why we pulled the yarn through. And here's the stitch where we had the yarn tail coming out of originally. And we're going to go into the back loops only of that stitch. So I'm just going to flip it around so that we're looking at the inside now because this tail is coming out of the center. And here's the stitch where we finished off. And we're going to put our hook through the back loop only. And then we are going to pull the tail through that stitch. So what we've done is we've created like a false stitch in between the last stitch of the last round and the second stitch. So here's the false stitch. So here's the stitch where we finished off on. Here's the second stitch that we pulled through originally, and here's the false stitch here. So I'm just going to put my hook in that for a second. And now we are going to take note of where that false stitch is and just put that down for a second. And we're going to make a slip knot with our second color. And we're going to put our hook into that false stitch. So once again, the stitch that the tail is coming out of right now is the original stitch that we finished off on. And the second stitch is next to the false stitch. So the false stitch is right in the middle. So we are just going to single crochet into that false stitch. And then we are going to continue single crocheting round. So for round 3, we're just going to single crochet round. And I'll show you what to do once we get to the end. So once we have done 12 single crochets, you can see there's sort of a little gap here that's in purple. We can just ignore that. And when we start the next round, we'll just go straight into this first green stitch that we did here. So make sure that the tails are on the inside now. And then for the following round, we are going to do single crochet increase times by 6, which will take us up to 18 stitches. So we are going to go into that first stitch that we did with the green right here. And we're going to single crochet into that. And then we'll increase into the next stitch. And then we're going to follow that pattern all the way around. So once we have finished that round, we are once again going to do a seamless color change. So I'll show you how to do it again. So we're going to leave a small tail, and then we will finish off. And now from the inside, we are going to find the stitch that is the second stitch along from the one that we finished off on. So 1 is here, and then 2 is here. And we're going to put our hook through that. So it's the second stitch along. And then we are going to pull the yarn through that stitch. And then we are going to find the stitch that we finished off on, which is right here. And we're going to put our hook through the back loop only, and then pull the yarn through that. And now we have created that false stitch in the middle once again. So keep an eye on that false stitch there. And we're going to grab our purple yarn. We're going to do a slip knot. And then we are going to find the false stitch, which is the one next to where we have the yarn tail coming out of. So it's the one beside that. So this one here. And then we are going to single crochet all the way around once again. So single crochet into that stitch, and then single crochet all the way around. And once we've single crocheted round, we want to make sure that this tail is on the inside. And then for the next round, we are going to do 2 single crochets in an increase times by 6. So once we finish that round, we are once again going to do a seamless color change. So cut the yarn off, find the second stitch, and then go from the inside and pull the yarn through that stitch. And then pull the yarn into the back loop of the stitch that we finished off on. And then we create a slip knot. And go into that false stitch from the outside. And now for this round, we are going to single crochet all the way around. And then for the next round, we are going to do 2 single crochets and a decrease times by 6. And now we're going to do our final seamless color change. So pull through the second loop from the outside to the inside, and then pull through the back loop of the stitch that we finished off on. And then make a slip knot with your other color. And then we just got to go into the stitch next to the one that has the yarn tail coming out of it currently. So this one here on the left. And now for this round, we will be doing single crochet decrease times by 6, which will take us down to 18 stitches. And now we're just going to add a little bit of stuffing. And once we are happy with the amount of stuffing we've added, we're going to do the final round. So for the last round, we are simply going to do 6 decreases, which will take us down to 6 stitches. And now, once you've done that, we are going to leave a small tail for sewing the bottom shut. So we'll pull through to finish off. And we're going to grab our yarn needle. And what we're going to do is we're going to go round in and out of the front loops only. So we're going to first go into the front loop of the first stitch and pull through. Then we're going to go out of the front loop of the following stitch and pull through. And then in to the next stitch, out of the next stitch, and then into the next stitch, out of the next stitch, and we'll pull tight. And now we are just going to bring the yarn tail up to the other end of the Easter egg. And we'll just use our yarn needle to make sure this is properly popped out. And then we can just cut off the tail. And this is our completed Easter egg. Here is another Easter egg that I also made with the same pattern and slightly different yarn. So these are both made with size 6 yarn, Premier Parfait chunky yarn, and Cozy Cloud yarn. I hope that you enjoyed making your Easter egg. If you did, then please make sure to subscribe and like this video. I post new tutorials every single week. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!